topics at ease. So today in this video we will be studying about research. Today the fourth episode revision series of research. A search for truth through accurate observation and interpretation of fact is described as. So these are the notes based on the previous year questions. A search for truth through accurate observation and interpretation of fact is described as method of mysticism, methods of tenacity, methods of authority, and methods of science. So these are the process, these are the methods to search for truth. Yesterday we have discussed about the different hats, about the foundation of communication research, and mainly we have talked about the paradigms of research. So now in today's lecture, in today's rapid revision series, we will be talking about the basic characteristics of scientific research. What are the basic characteristics of scientific research? Scientific research is public. Any scientific research is not made for personal use only. Scientific research are public. Scientific research is objective. Scientific research is empirical. Science is systematic and cumulative. That means the research is systematic and the research is cumulative effect. Cumulative effect, that means it gathers information slowly. Science is predictive. Now the development of media research phrase. According to Wimmer and Dominic, D. Wimmer and Joseph R. Dominic, famous research scholar, famous researcher who has given who are very much famous in communication research part. They have given 4 phases of media. How media research is conducted? They have identified 4 different phases. Phase 1, first of all, the media must be researched. The media where which part the research is conducting. Then comes the users and uses, who are using it. The medium is used by whom. In second part it deals with users and the uses. And the third phase is the effect of medium. That means researchers tries to find out the effect, what effect that particular medium is impacting the society or any individual. Mainly we talk about the society, the impact of the society. And the fourth phase is how the medium can be improved. So these are the main purpose of communication research. We must know where the communication research is conducting, where the communication research is going on, the media itself. D. Wimmer and Joseph R. Dominic stated that the research, the place of occurrence, the media must be searched. Then the user we must trace back the user. Then the effect on the medium. After researching about the effect on the medium, we move to the medium. How can the medium be improved? Now the next part is that for doing communication research, we need to question. Regarding the research, with confusion comes clarity. That means with confusion here comes clarity. For doing communication research, we need to question. And the questioning part goes like in these 4 phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4 as given by D. Wimmer and Joseph R. Dominic. Now C.S. Prius discussed 4 approaches as well of research, of communication research, that are the tenacity, the intuition, the authority and the science part. The tenacity follows the logic that something is true. The research, we must conduct research which are based on true fact. Research is not fictional story. Research is true. Research is based on real evidence. The intuitions, the prior approach, a person assumes that something is true because it is self-evident. Authority, the authority states a belief in something because a trusted source, parents, a reporter, a teacher. How we gather information. What about the science? The truth is found only through a service of objective analysis. Now these are the parts. So we have discussed the research, that means searching for truth. Research has 5 characteristics, basic characteristics. Scientific method, which we have talked about. The scientific research is public, science is objective, science is empirical, science is systematic and cumulative, science is predictive. And following with, we have discussed about Weimer and Dominic, that phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4. Then we had a talk about C.S. Prius, and I repeat, these are the notes based on previous year questions. Now we will be having a discussion on types of variables. What is variables? What we are studying in the research is known as variables. That means which is not constant, which varies. Now, as far research variables are concerned, there are many types of research variables. First of all, we will be studying about the types. Independent variable is also known as treatment variables, is also known as input variable or predictor variable. Then comes dependent variable or response variable, then control variable, then confounding variable or third variables. The first, let's discuss the types, then I will be having a detailed explanation on this part. Then we have composite variables, followed by direct variables, integer variables. Then we have continuous variable, ratio variable, interval variable or numeric variable. And in 2021 we had a question like Supriya's variable. At first glance we must see, we will be understanding it as a casual relationship, but later it unfolds something different. Then we have categorical variables like binary, like nominal, like ordinary variables. And the other types of variables goes like moderate variables, example age or income, continuous moderating variables, affects relationship between independent and dependent variable, extraneous variable is also known as danger variable, effect dependent variable, as well as intervening variable. And lastly we have lurking variable. Lurking variables means hidden variable that affects the relationship between the independent and dependent variable. So what is independent variable? Independent variables means the researcher can manipulate that particular variable. Independent, that a particular variable is independent, so the researcher is manipulating the particular variable. And just opposite of independent variable, here comes confounding variables, which is also known as third variable. Suppose let's take an example. Confounding variables is a hot temperature. Independent variable, rate of ice cream consumed. A researcher can select the rate of ice cream consumed by different consumers. And what is dependent? Number of sunburns. So independent variable means which the researchers controls, researchers manipulates the variable. Just opposite of independent variable, it is confounding variables, which is also known as third variable, that hides the true effect of another variable. And we have control variables. Control variables means ceteris paribus, we must keep other things constant. Variables, because in research, why variables is important? Variables helps us to conduct a particular study properly. That's why it is important. There are different types of variables. For exam perspective, we must understand and we must learn independent variables means manipulative, dependent variables means which is dependent to the independent variable, variables that represents the outcome of the experience. These are the keywords, variables that represents the outcome of the experiment. Then we have composite variable. Data, in the time of data analysis, data measurement, the relationship between calorie intake, body mass index and level of exercise is strong and would make an excellent composite variable. Whereas the relationship between calorie intake, the size of the man and the speed of airplanes are not strongly correlated. Composite variable deals with this. Now what is discrete variable? Discrete variable is also known as integer variable. It's a countable part. That means we can count number of student in class. No different tree species in a forest. Number of different tree species in a forest. Discrete variable states that. Discrete, we are making an integer. Integer we have learned in our earlier class, in our mathematics, early 5-6 level mathematics, that integer means any number. And continuous means non-finite values, distance, volume, age. So variables can broadly be divided into two parts, quantitative variable or numeric variable, whereas categorical variable and qualitative variable. When we are talking about quantitative variables, that means we are talking about numbers, and the numbers, quantitative variables, can be further divided into two parts. One is continuous variable, which is also known as ratio, and one is discrete variable, which is known as integer, and categorical variable, which is qualitative variable, that is ordinal and nominal. Nominal comes from the word nomenclature. All right. So categorical variables, now we can further divide the types of variables into categorical variables: binary or dichotomous, that means yes or no. Just simply we are stating yes or no. So a PYQ, previous year question, according to 2022, we had a question: categorical variables can be constructed through. How we categorize a variable? We categorize a variable by bar charts. So after this quick revision session, we will be having a brief discussion on the previous year of research, previous year questions of research, which I have already assembled in one single copy. We will have a quick discussion on this as well, because this previous year questions is the guiding light. All right, so we have many previous year questions. These are the set previous year questions, WB set previous year questions. Now talking about variables, which just a minute. Yes, categorical variable, the binary, that means yes no. Nominal, that means name. Ordinal variable, that means group that are ranked in specific order, rating scale. Then we have moderator variables, that means age or income. Continuous moderating variables, effect relationship between independent and dependent variable. Extraneous variable, these are the moderator. Extraneous variables means the danger variables, those factored in the research environment which may have an effect on the dependent variable but not controlled. Why dangerous? Because they may damage the study's validity control. Finally, what is lurking variable? Hidden variable that affects the relationship between the independent and dependent variable. So this was it with variable. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be discussing about hypothesis. Thank you for connecting. Thank you for showing love to At Ease No Media, where we discuss related topics at ease.